Police are meant to serve and safeguard us. But what happens when wrongdoers impersonate officers to exploit that authority? In this video, we'll examine 3 instances of this, beginning with Jackson Jones, who was stopped after authorities got reports of a suspicious officer forcefully interrogating strangers throughout the area.
Do you have any weapons in the car or anything like that? Like a gun or anything like
that? I don't even have a gun.
Okay.
I'm 19 years old. If this is going to cause problems, the truck's over there, I'm just going to take off the vest, and I'm from Tennessee. So,
why are you wearing the vest?
Well, like I said, I drove from all the way from Tennessee.
Jones claims he's from Tennessee, more than 500 kilometers from where he was stopped in Oklahoma, so it's odd that he's still wearing full police attire, especially since he's off duty, and the officers find it suspicious as well.
Why do you wear a vest outside of the facility? Is this an agency vehicle, or is this your personal vehicle?
This is my vehicle.
It's just a little odd, because whenever I worked in the jail, I took my crap off, especially if I was taking a long drive from Tennessee. You got any kind of employment identification?
Dude, they don't give me that when you work at the jail.
Really? You don't have like an access card or an ID badge or anything for the facility that you work at?
I don't.
When Jones can't provide any credentials to verify he's part of law enforcement, the officers grow highly suspicious. Not only was he dressed in a police outfit, but he was also stopping civilians and harshly interrogating them. The officers know something is off about this man. They just need to uncover what he's up to and, more importantly, why.
And you don't have a gun with you or anything like that?
You can search the car.
You don't mind if I search the car?
I don't care if you search the car.
Okay, cool. Step on out if you don't mind. Face the vehicle, I'll just check you make sure you don't have any guns or nothing.
As Jones exits the vehicle, it's clear he's wearing a complete police uniform, including handcuffs. Even if Jones is a correctional officer in Tennessee, as he says, he has no authority to detain individuals in public. Everything suggests that something is seriously off here, so since Jones has given consent, the officer opts to perform a thorough search of the car.
We'll just check everything out. If everything's good, then we'll go on. One empty bottle, one partially missing bottle, and then 2 more to go, and it was a pack of 6. Just all kinds of red flags, man. I would not drive from Tennessee with a vest carrier on.
No.
Or even a duty belt on.
As soon as I get off, I take that shit off. Yeah. I'm tired of being in it.
I hate driving from Topgolf to my house with this shit on.
The officer escorted Jones to his squad car while he wrapped up the search, and Jones used this moment to further demonstrate just how out of touch with reality he truly is.
Why don't we go have a seat in my Tahoe? I'll have a seat in my Tahoe. No, back seat.
Requesting to sit in the front seat suggests that Jones genuinely thinks these officers are simply his buddies and colleagues, reinforced by the fact that he's wearing a thin blue line hoodie, a kind of law enforcement pride emblem that reflects how strongly Jones identifies with his claimed role. But then, the officers ask to speak with his superior, something that should quickly verify whether Jones is telling the truth. However, it doesn't go quite as planned.
Where'd you get the vest carrier from? Did you order it online?
No.
From a friend, or
I didn't get it out.
bought it at a store?
It's a police store up there in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
You can only be law enforcement to get it. I bought it like 4 months ago. You can take all this stuff from me and keep me out of jail.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, I bought all that stuff. None of that stuff was given to the county.
Give me your phone back.
Like I said, I'm not going to see GPS.
All right. Cool. 423-494. Yes, this is Deputy Mike Hansen with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office. I'm out on a individual saying he works for Campbell County Sheriff's Office by the name of Jackson Jones. You'll give me a call back, 405-869. So it went to a voicemail. So that's like not an official work number.
The number Jones provided was bogus, or at the very least, not linked to a legitimate police agency. He was either counting on the officers giving him the benefit of the doubt when it went to voicemail or hoping he could persuade someone to return the call and impersonate a superior. Regardless, the plan failed, and the final blow came when the witness he had pulled over arrived at the scene and completely blew his cover.
He was dressed like a cop. They had sheriff written on the side right here. He was sitting in a driveway, and I started about 10 minutes of staring at him, and I'm like, who the heck is this guy? It's kind of odd. He's in our neighbor's driveway. He gets out, and I said, "Can I help you, sir?" He's like, "Well, I was wondering what was your problem? You were staring at me over in the driveway." And I said, "Yeah, I was kind of curious who you was. I lived down this road. I was kind of see what's going on." He goes, I'm a undercover cop for Wellston. "Well, I got a call. I got to let you go." And then he left. And then when he left, he came towards the Turnpike Bridge, and he flipped the U-E and was trying to pull another car. He started flashing his lights at him.
Really?
And I didn't know if they pulled over or not, but he was flashing his lights like he was trying to pull them over.
Not only did the witness confirm that Jones appeared to be illegally stopping anyone who crossed his path, but he also informed the officer that Jones claimed to be a cop from Wilson, a town in Oklahoma, completely different from Knoxville, where he told the officers he was employed. As far as the authorities were concerned, that was sufficient cause to take him into custody, and they promptly returned to the patrol vehicle to place him under arrest.
Yeah, I know I'm going to jail.
Alright. Turn around, face the other way. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for impersonating law enforcement, alright? And then you also have a charge for transporting an open container.
The punishment for pretending to be a police officer ranges from 1 to 3 years in prison, and he'll likely receive a minor fine for the open container violation as well. But most significantly, Jones is now off the streets. The only reason someone like him would ever pose as law enforcement is simply because they crave the sense of power and control it provides. If someone is willing to deceive so boldly to gain that power, there's no telling what they might do with it, and that was exactly the concern officers had with Daniel Nelson. Police discovered him beside a fully equipped vehicle that closely mimicked a squad car, complete with flashing lights and insignias, claiming it was actually a local law enforcement vehicle. Nelson stated that he conducts patrols as a church-affiliated officer, assisting homeless individuals by checking in on them and making sure they're safe, but the authorities sensed that something wasn't right.
Then I walked
This guy's on. He gave me his card, but see if you can try to grab a VIN on it for me while I'm talking to him. He works for a church. There's no plate on it. I just noticed. I mean, I noticed before, after you talked to me, that there was no plate on it, but he's got a dog in there. Just be aware.
If y'all here, something happened.
Oh, I'm here on a separate entity. I'm not a part of that.
Oh, but something happened because you say it's a dude.
Yeah, I'm here for something else, probably.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
They're their own.
Nelson claims he was dispatched to check on a homeless individual who might have been in distress, but after speaking with the man, he determines that everything is fine and prepares to leave. Before he goes, however, the officer asks for his date of birth, saying they just want to record his details for their list of local law enforcement personnel not affiliated with the official police department. In truth, the officers used his name and birthday to run a background check and obtain his home address so they could dig deeper the following day.
Yeah. Hang over here. I'm gonna check. I could hear him in there talking to his dogs.
Even though no one responded at the door, the counterfeit police vehicle was parked outside the residence, the dogs were inside, and they could hear him speaking to the animals. Most notably, it was 6 in the morning, and the officers were nearly certain Nelson was inside but chose not to respond to the police. However, what happened next was completely unexpected. The same day, Nelson voluntarily surrendered himself at the police station.
You decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present. You have the right to stop the questioning and remain silent at any time you wish, and the right to ask for and have a lawyer at any time you wish, including during the questioning. Do you understand each of these rights?
Yeah. Say yes. Yes.
What followed was a 20-minute questioning session during which Nelson appeared entirely disconnected from reality. At no time did he acknowledge that his actions were illegal, and whenever confronted with a problem, he replied that he was a servant of God, acting on his behalf.
Never once in 10 years have I associated myself with being a police officer. It's never changed. Never.
I'm just telling you, our witness says you did it at least twice.
Twice?
You identified yourself as a police officer twice while you were talking to him. He said you identified yourself, and that's the only reason he stopped to speak with you.
So at this point,
He said he felt it was odd that you would stop him while walking.
it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right, but why would you stop to talk to somebody at 3 in the
Because he
morning?
matched the description of somebody I was meeting. Backpack, same very thing I told you.
Yeah, you told me it was a white subject that was your...
See that with this hoodie on? I've never once in my entire career of doing this for a decade, devoted to God, have ever made that statement.
Okay.
This was the story Nelson stuck to throughout the entire questioning, that he worked for God and the church and was simply there to assist people. But with the witness testimony and the patrol vehicle equipped with sirens and lights, the police didn't believe a word. That, however, brings up another question. If Nelson wasn't genuinely trying to protect people at 3 a.m., what was he doing interacting with them? It's probably for the best that he'll spend at least a year in a Wisconsin state prison. These last two suspects were so lost in their delusions that they impersonated officers without any real law enforcement experience. But the situation is different for Jared's and Mackey, a man who had been dismissed from the force but decided to take matters into his own hands.
Hey, partner.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Officer Park with the Akron Police Department.
How are you?
The only reason why I'm pulling you over, I guess y'all were, well, that's my chief of police right there. He saw y'all go around traffic. He was trying to figure out who y'all are with or what was going on.
The officers observed Mackey using his lights and weaving through traffic, something genuine police are prohibited from doing, especially in suspicious vehicles not officially registered with the police department.
Yeah, I'm off-duty hero operator.
Oh, off-duty hero operator?
How you doing, Chief? Hey. I'm off-duty operator. I just working off really detail. That's my ID. That's my badge.
Why is the car registered to an individual?
That's mine. This is my company.
So what are you doing with all these red lights?
Sorry?
Why all this emergency lights? And did I see you using emergency lights to pull out into traffic on Lake Eckworth Drive?
Oh, no, because I couldn't get through, Chief. You notice? That's a standstill. So I flashed the lights so people could see me that I was trying to get in the line.
Who do you work for?
This is my company. I'm an off-duty hero operator. This is my company.
So like me, you're impersonating a police officer.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not impersonating, sir.
Mackey asserts that he is an off-duty hero or highway emergency response operator, responsible for clearing roads and restoring normal traffic flow after accidents. However, his vehicle should be registered with the Georgia Department of Transportation rather than in his name, which immediately raises concerns for the police chief, especially upon learning that he was weaving through traffic while off-duty.
ID on you?
Yes, sir. We look in the front. We look in the front.
I see red lights. I saw red lights when you pulled out.
Yeah, that's right. That's when it activated to the back.
Yeah. Where's your ID?
Right, yes, Chief. Yeah.
Do you have a lighting permit for the vehicle?
Yeah, right down the glass.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Be right back with you, okay? There's your ID back.
Thank you.
Look, given with all the lighting permit and stuff that I'm seeing, I'm just going to assume everything's properly permitted and stuff for the vehicle.
It is, sir.
That said, with what my chief's observation, the use of those are for strictly business purposes. You can't be using it to pull in the traffic, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am going to issue a citation for unlawful operation for emergency vehicle, okay?
I want to verify your employment, and I'm probably going to have CID look into this, to be honest with you, to see what you're doing.
I know, Chief.
I don't feel good.
Chief,
Chief,
I can show you my LLC. I can show you my LLC right now.
I'll let them handle it.
Mackey received a citation for the illegal use of an emergency vehicle and was released temporarily. However, when the officers returned to the station and checked with GDOT, they found out Mackey had been a hero operator but was terminated in January, 6 months prior. He had kept his badge and permits and knew exactly what to say to convince the officers he was authorized to operate the vehicle. Fortunately, these officers were too sharp to be fooled, and Mackey was arrested for impersonating a police officer 2 days later.